All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Let me say that again, man. Salakia. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. And double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson on this particular scripture in the book of Isaiah, the 3rd chapter and the 9th verse, which reads like this: The show of their countenance doth witness against them. They declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. And this scripture gets applied, and rightly so. It normally gets applied to those people that are on that alphabeting and that rainbow and stuff, right? But those ain't the only people really those are one of the easiest people that's sin can be seen by just looking at their face, man, right? Just looking at their gait, right? You can just and hearing their voice, you be like, man, this person ain't really, you know what I mean? This particular individual ain't really, they're walking a bit crooked, mate, right? But then there's other people in this world, when you look at them and you can be like, man, this person's sin can be seen by their countenance, man. Like a person that's an adulterer, right? A Jake in the world that's an adulterer. You can kind of tell that they're an adulterer, man. They're always like licking their lips like they think they're LL Cool J. You know what I mean? They're rubbing their hands when they're talking. Like you can kind of sense an adulterous individual in this world, man. They're always all overly wanting to always talk to next man's women. You know what I mean? They won't want to talk. They won't want to talk to a woman when a man's clearly there. But then you can tell that they've been trying to talk to that woman. It's just a lot that goes on in this world, man. Right? Certain people that are unalivers, you can kind of tell about that. And then in this world, people declare their sin of that. Like you got these drill rappers. They're not scared to talk about what they did on their tracks, and they end up getting arrested for it. People that are committed adultery, they ain't scared to declare that sin. People that are thieves, they ain't scared to declare that sin in this world, right? People ain't really scared or embarrassed even by their sins, man. Whereas those of the hopeful, they'll be embarrassed by sins that they've committed in the past. And if before they came into the truth, they committed any sins that was unto death, right? Which really ultimately every sin is unto death, but I'm on about specific sins that was unto death. They'd be embarrassed by that. That's not going to be a thing that they're going to glory and put in a song and start making music about it. Whereas when it comes to a lot of Jake in the world, they make music about their sins. They'll make songs about their songs about their sins of adultery, right? They make songs about their sins of being an unaliver, right? They don't care about making all this kind of music. They don't care about declaring their sins. They hide in that. You don't need to search it out. They'll tell you themselves. You don't need to wonder what this person's got to repent for. They'll tell you themselves, man, without shame. They declare their sin, they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. And that's what would have been going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. They would have been glorying in how wicked they are. The people in Sodom and Gomorrah weren't embarrassed to be wicked. They loved it. And that's how it is in this world now. People love to be wicked. They just don't want you to talk about what they've did wrong. And that's why even Christianity has helped with that. Oh, I don't judge. Oh, I don't judge. And then they say, oh, they misinterpret judge not lest ye be judged, right? But that's talking about how if you've did the particular sin that somebody else is talking about, right, and you know that that's a sin that you struggle with, then you shouldn't even be saying nothing to nobody else about that kind of thing. So don't be freak. Let's use some examples. If you know you eat pork, don't be telling nobody else don't eat pork. If you know like that you're shaving your beard off or doing things with your hair as a man that's unlawful, then you wouldn't be able to tell another man, don't do that. If you're a serial adulterer, you can't tell another man, don't commit adultery. And it goes into that in the book of Romans, the 2nd chapter, right? It's not saying that you can't tell anybody not to do anything wrong, because that's not true. Because Yahweh's not down here on the earth, neither is Yahweh Shai. So who can tell you not to sin then? Because which one of us earthly human beings are perfect to where we can tell anybody anything then, if that's the case, according to what people try and say it is. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 15, but he that is spiritual, judge of all things, yet he himself is judge of no man. When we see news stories, we can judge that situation like, okay, had he have not did this, this wouldn't have happened. Had she not did that, that wouldn't have happened. And we can judge and assess by how Yahweh's laws would have stopped them things taking place. Like if a woman gets jealous of her man getting another woman and unalives somebody in a situation where she's going off, because according to the Bible, a man's allowed to have another wife. Now, if that second woman that man ended up with has actually not a virgin before he got with her, well, then it is adultery. And then in the eyes of the Lord, that judgment was righteous. But it should not have came by her hand though, right? Because the woman thought that she was doing something righteous because, oh, he committed adultery on me. Well, no. It's not really, apart from if the man goes down the alphabeting and rainbowing route, in my opinion, when I look at and assess the law of adultery, it's not really possible for a man to commit adultery on a woman, because a man's allowed to have more than one wife. A man's allowed to have more than one wife, allows a man to have multiple wives. One's the minimum amount of women that he can have, right? And if he so chooses in this time, in this world right now, he can choose to have 0 women, based on what Paul said in the book of 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter. He can choose to have 0, right? He can choose to have 0, man. But he can also choose based on what he can do more than that. And it's not based on whether his wife gives permission and says, okay, I'm going to give her a consent form and we've got to both sign and date it. No, that's what women want it to be. And then the women in this world are so off that they not only want to be able to put the man under a consent form, they want to be able to join in, which would be alphabeting and rainbowing, which they are not allowed to do. Or they want to be like, well, if you're allowed multiple wives, I'm allowed multiple husbands. But then at the same time, they still want the man to give them all the access to everything that they was doing to them financially, which they would desire if they got their way, for him to be covering every single thing in their lives. So, right, we can't trust in women's standards to judge how this world's supposed to go. We cannot. We cannot do that, man. No. Their standard on how he's supposed to judge things, we cannot judge by his standard, man. Let's go back to you know what? I'll go to this. No, I'll go back to Isaiah. In fact, because people in this, I'll go to 1 Corinthians. 2nd Ezra. People in this world now are no longer embarrassed really by all the evil things that they do. When you look at these podcasts, you got these men talking about they've had like a whole bunch of the shuns thing, abshuns, you know what I mean? Where they unalive their children in the womb. And then they're not even embarrassed by it. You got women that are talking about their body counts, women that are talking about eating glutes, men that are talking about eating glutes. But I'm like, man, raw fam. Like, even that's off anyway. But surely they could have just been like, man, you don't need to tell everyone everything, man. Can anything be private anymore in this world, bro? No, it seems no, right? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 5. Behold, saith Yahweh, I'll bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, for wickedness have exceeded, polluted the whole earth, and the hurtful works are fulfilled. And Esau's did a good job in a wicked way of making it cool to sin, because he made Israelites the face of all sins, and Israelites are cool. Israelites are smooth, right? Jacob was a smooth man, dwelling in tents. Israelites are smooth, man. Israelites are cool. You know what I mean? Israelites are the salt of the earth. They can make the good thing seem evil and the evil thing seem good if they are tricked into being that way. If they're made to only be able to seem to profit in this world when they do the wicked thing, well then they end up going for the wicked thing and don't want to go for the hard way, which is the righteous path. And let me get an example in the scriptures where that happens. In the book of First Maccabees, watch this. Since I was saying that, it made me think about this. First Maccabees chapter 10 and verse 11. Not what man about, man. First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 11. In those days there went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. And that's how Jake looks at it now. They're like, well, when we try and do the Bible thing, and all the men that I see doing the Bible thing, them man are dusty, them man ain't this, them man look like they ain't shaved their beard. And then some of the people that say this stuff, I'm looking at them and I'm like, mate, you ain't Absalom yourself? Like, who are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, some of these people that are trying to disrespect the appearance of Israelite brothers, I'm looking at them and I'm like, hang on, who do you think you are? Who are you? Are you like some comely man out here yourself, bro? Like, you're just the most handsome man of all Israel, and everyone's just trying to emulate themselves off you. Some of these men try and go on like, we're trying to emulate ourselves off their image. No, we're getting ready to emulate and to have our image changed into what Yahweh Shai's image looks like. So if we're ugly, you are too. We're all off. Because if we wasn't off, we wouldn't need changing, would we? So ain't none of it. Okay, some people can be considered more handsome in this world than others, but we ain't. All of us really ain't what we're supposed to be, and that's why we're all gonna be changed. So there shouldn't be no one getting too carried away with himself out here. Don't be doing that, man. I don't think people should be doing that, but they can say and do whatever they want to do if they think that's the way. But that goes back into they declare their sin on Sodom, they hide it not. Coveting, you know what I mean? Coveting, tale bearing, bearing false witness. These are all sins. These are all sins, man. These are all in the light eyes of the Lord. Crimes, theft, you know what I mean? These are all crimes, man. That whole don't snitch thing that the Jakes be talking about in the world, that's actually off. If you see something going on among your people and you don't snitch, that and it's not snitching really either. It's doing the right thing. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well, and this device pleases Jake well now. Then certain of the people were so forward therein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen, whereupon they built a place of exercise. That's them leisure centers, man. You know how Jake loves them leisure centers. Oh, we need a community centers. That's that old ancient way that they were saying it, man. Because the old gyms, when you read about it, right, when you actually read about the ancient gyms, they were like a community center. The community would go there, and it was more than exercise that was going in there to be talking about life and like teaching all their different philosophies. That's that community center spirit back then. So it came from somewhere, man. And the same thing's going on now. Jake in the UK, oh, we need community centers. Jake in America, oh, we need kids need something to do. I mean, there's always that community center speak. But I mainly hear over here in the UK. Everyone just always talking at anything that like a community center can just heal every problem. When the ICBMs come to the earth, you think they're gonna stop and be like, oh wow, wait, turn back around, team. I didn't know they had community centers here. We're in the wrong place. There's a few community centers over there, so we can't land on this land and just completely obliterate it because there's community centers there. Is that gonna happen? That you're just gonna throw a community center at the you know what I mean? Like in them movies where you got the asteroids and they try and shoot a missile at the asteroid. You're gonna throw a community center at the ice. You're gonna just attach an ice community center to a rocket and shoot the community center at the ICBMs. Nah, I don't think so. Community centers ain't gonna stop nothing around here. This society has got too much going on in it to be able to be rebuilt, man. The people are too proud anyway. Everyone declares their sin. Watch these podcasts, man, and just see some of the things that these people say in there. You got moms, not moms. You got women talking about how they've like dealt with mother and son, and saying how they're not embarrassed by it. You got men that openly, all these guys that do these street interviews and that they openly know that woman's got a man, and they still try and get her. They don't say, "Oh, sorry," and just leave it at that. They still try and get the number. And that, even though sometimes that is a woman's technique to try and see how interested a guy is, she's actually, when a woman actually does that, she's being a demon. When a woman says, "Oh, I've got a boyfriend," and she knows she's lying, but she wants the man to still carry on talking to her. Well, when the man doesn't talk to her no more, if the man didn't talk to her no more, they'd have to get a new technique. They'd have to tell the truth, which is something that all of us men know women don't like to do. They don't like the truth, right? Which women have declared their sin as Sodom in this world too. Talking about how they keep one man in the chamber like we're bullets. You know what I mean? They always keep an N word or two in the chamber. That's them declaring their sin as Sodom. Talking about how they've unalived their children. That's them openly declaring their sin that they've been sacrificing their children unto Moloch. Now they'll say, "Nah, I'm not. I went to NHS's. I went to I don't know anything about that, mate." If you look up the procedure and what happens to those unalived fetuses, yeah, they burn them in bulk after, if they've found anything useful from the children, they use it to whatever uses they want. But the wastage, what they call wastage, or call it chemical waste, I believe they say, they burn it in bulk. What did they used to do in times past? And really, somewhere in the dark depths of this whole earth that's large and is a large place, they're doing it the same way as they would have did it back in the day, because they would have found, man, there's a bit more life in it when we do it this way. Or maybe they found that there's more power in the way that they do it now. Because in times past, the child would have had to be born for them to do that. Now they catch the baby while it's inside. So maybe definitely that's even more wicked. The baby don't even get to go through its phases of gestation period now. The full phases. It's just it's absolutely crazy down here. And the women that do it, they declare their sin. Women be walking around with signs with blood dripping on them, saying screaming out at the top of their lungs, "My body, my choice." You know what I mean? Declaring their sins. They're declaring it, not ashamed. Women declaring their adultery. When a woman gets asked their body count, if the number's really more than one and that man is alive, well, she's declared that she's an adulterer. And I don't care what any of you want to say about, "Oh, but the men, blah, 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 blah." Women always blame the men. It's always the man's fault. And based on what women say, right, 100% of men are narcissists. So I'm a narcissist. All you brothers in all the different camps all around the world, you're all narcissists, right? Our dads are, our uncles, all of our male cousins, the local postman, that's a man. He's a narcissist. You know what I mean? All the news reporters, everyone's a narcissist that I'm in. And all the women are tens, by the way, as well. Let's not forget that. All the women are tens and all the men are narcissists. If we was to go based on how women view this world, man. Every woman's a 10 and all the tens of women look completely different. So a woman's a 10 if she weighs 20 stone, but then she's also a 10 if she weighs 8 stone. A woman's a 10 if she weighs 140 pounds, but she's also a 10 if she ain't got no teeth. You know what I mean? A woman's a 10 if she's got a milky eye, but she's also a 10 if she's got green eyes. You know what I mean? A woman's a 10 if she a blonde. A woman's a 10 if she a brunette. A woman to 10 if she ginger. A woman to 10 if she got an STI. You know what I mean? But a man, he ain't shit at all times, and he's a narcissist on top of that. If we go based on what these women that declare their sin as Sodom have got to say about life. You know what I mean? And we're all violent as well. And we're all adulterers. But when they do it, oh, but we got a reason to do it. You know what I mean? Mate, this world, I'm telling you, bro. Do you see this place that we're living on? It's made to reprove our thoughts. So lucky, man. Yo, this world is mad, bro. And it's all thanks to the man of sin, Esau, man, that damn slippery serpent from the Garden of Eden. Right back down there again. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12, because ultimately all of this is about spirits anyway, man. The spirits that have been made to try and destroy us and make us not believe in Yahweh no more, man. The spirits that are made to try and persuade us to be like, man, it's all right, man. Just enjoy this kingdom. Forget the kingdom of heaven. Enjoy this, right? Look around. Can't you find yourself some peace on this? That's what this world's about, man. Like, just forget about all that kingdom of heaven stuff. Don't worry about the kingdom of heaven. Yeah, just enjoy this. Like, look around, man. Just have a look, have a gander. Like, you're trying to tell me you can't find there's not nothing that you like about this. That's what the spirits that are surrounding this world are out here to try and do, man. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that you may be able to withstand the evil day, and having done all to stand. Right? We have to protect ourselves with what the Bible says. Stand therefore having your loins girt about with truth. Ain't like, we have to say what it is, man. Say what the truth is. So women coming around talking all that when men are equal bullshit BS. Nah, you ain't equal, and you don't want to be equal neither. Because there isn't no woman on this earth that wants to be able to go out, make all the money, and so-called be the breadwinner as they want to try and say that they want to be. And then the man stays and just relaxes himself in the house and sleeps around with women like how women do men in this world, man. Regardless of whether they want to admit it or not. Right? And then he just buys all kind of crazy things now that a man would buy when he's got disposable income. Snooker tables, dartboards, video games. Oh no, man. You know what I mean? Getting into design, trying to make a go-kart or some kind of motor vehicle and just living off that woman's money while she goes out and works. No one wants to do that. I don't care what none of y'all say. You want to have money for yourself. And so you can boast to your female friends like, oh, I've got money. But I don't need my money because the man takes care of everything that I got going on anyway. But I've got my own money anyway. But like, if I did, even if he wasn't paying for all of this stuff in my life, then I'm still paying for it. That's part of the women thing, it seems to me, man. That's what it seems to me, that women have exposed themselves to actually think, because they like to flex on women. That's one of the main things women like to do. And that's why women love to sleep with men that have got another woman. They love to do that. And when any of you brothers out there, women might see you with your woman, if they hadn't seen you with your woman before. Now that they see you with your woman, some of them are more interested in you now when they wasn't interested in you, when they didn't think you had a woman. But then at the same time, they'll try and say that they don't want a man to have multiple wives. Well, that's not true. That's not true, man, because then why is it that women are always trying to sleep with married men then? If that's the case. But back to this. Verse 14, stand therefore having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, meaning that you can't lie about the doctrine. You can't try and have the Bible doctrine when it says that Esau is hated by God, and you're saying God loves everyone. You can't have a Bible doctrine when it says that the new covenant is for the house of Israel and Judah, but you're saying that it says that it's for everyone when it don't. It don't say that. It don't say nowhere in the Bible anything about spiritual Israel, but it definitely does say the seed of Israel in many places. Jeremiah 23 verse 7 to verse 8 is one place. Seed of Israel. He says seed of Israel. But let Christians tell it. Everyone's just an Israelite now on the earth. We're all Israelites, and every other nation don't exist no more, and everyone's Israelites. That's basically what they're trying to say. The other nations don't exist, and we're all slightly a percentage because we all go back to Adam. We're all slightly a percentage of Israel. But then, based on that logic, then right, wouldn't we all slightly be a percentage of Esau too? Because he came from the same forefather as Isaac did. I mean, as Israel did. So are we all Edomites as well then? Because then if that's the case, then that means we're all going to get the judgment of Obadiah chapter 1 verse 18, isn't we? But obviously that's not true. If we're all from Israel, that doesn't make sense that we wouldn't be based on these people, how they're trying to spin it, that we're all from Esau too, because they had literally the same forefathers. If you go back in the genealogy of Jacob and the genealogy of Esau, you will find after you will find from Isaac past, it's all the same people. If you go from Isaac all the way leading up to Adam, it will be everything's the same, exactly identical. So how is it that we're all Israel, but we're not all Esau? Explain how that managed to happen. Because Esau and Jacob ain't even the same people, based on what the scriptures say. So how can anybody else that's not even a descendant from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, how can they also be the same? And let me prove that. How can it be that everyone's from Jacob, according to what Christianity says? I'm spiritually. No, you're not. You're spiritually and literally a liar and a demon. And that's the only way I can word it with you people, man. Genesis chapter 25 and verse 23. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and one people shall stand up to fight against another. What man, Salakia. What scripture was that I just quoted? And one people just fight. That was 2nd Ezra the 15th minute. Salakia. Let me read 23 again. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elders shall serve the younger. So they're not even Jacob and Esau are even the same nation, and they are twins. They shared the same womb when they to come into this earth and be nations, yet they ain't even the same. So how the hell is somebody that's from Ham the same as them, or somebody that's from Japheth the same, or somebody that's from Ham and from Mizraim, but then somebody else that's from Ham and from Canaan? How are they the same? The doctrine of Christianity is absolutely ridiculous. And once you start questioning it, it makes zero sense. And most of you Christians that are always up in a Hebrew Israelite's face when they're out on the street, asking them a 20,001 questions, you people are cowards. You know damn well you haven't asked nowhere near as many questions to your pastor in the church. You haven't tried to ask them openly in front of the whole congregation. Neither have you asked them privately. A lot of you people, you haven't put them under the same microscope that you try and put us under. And you're really asking all these questions because you don't know yourself. When you've been in your church, you just sat down and shut your mouth, banged the tambourine, and danced and pretended like you caught the Holy Spirit and taught all that fake, demonic, fake language, gaga gaga ba 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 shaba taba taba la ba ba ba, all that dumbass stuff. Raka taka 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 bo 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 bo. Talking out your mouth, faking like you got the speaking in tongues, karashata and all that madness that y'all are talking, man. Sounding stupid as hell. Sounding absolutely retarded, man. That's like what little kids do when they don't want to listen to their school teacher. La 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 la. That's what y'all are doing. Faking like you caught the Holy Spirit. How's the hell is that the Holy Spirit, man? No, I'm speaking in tongues. Oh yeah? What did he say? Oh, I'm not sanctified enough to break that down, yeah? Neither are they. They all are both demons as far as I'm concerned. Trying to deceive people. That fake ass speaking in tongues stuff. But that again, That goes into the people declaring their sin because they're lying, man. They're bearing false witness on the Lord. People ain't prepared, ain't scared to do that, man. People in this world ain't scared to bear false witness. They're not. Let me go. You know what? Let's go into the things that the Lord hates, and people ain't scared to do most of these. They ain't scared, man. When you've got on YouTube right now people that make thumbnails, right, with men kissing men in the mouth. They make fake edited thumbnails of men kissing men in the mouth. But if they have like some of these people that they do this stuff to are wicked enough already. You don't need to stage a picture of them kissing another man. Their crimes have already been told. You don't need to add extra stuff onto it, man. Why are you doing that for? That's wicked. People that make pictures and like try and put men in dresses and all that kind of stuff. That's not actually right, man. To stage pictures like that's so surely somewhere in Yahweh's eyes that's actually not even right to do that kind of stuff, to like take someone's image and like try and make it look like they're doing something else. I wouldn't want nobody to do that to me, and most of us brothers out there wouldn't want no one to do that to us. But these people in the world, they do that all the time. When these people are demons enough, we don't even need to do that. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 16. These 6 things now, and Yahweh is going to read it. When me saying that doesn't necessarily mean that, like in certain cases, that it will be different, man. In certain cases, it will be different. But trying to fake a picture of a man kissing another man on a thumbnail for your video, like, what the hell are you doing that for? The people that already got enough sins that you don't need to do that, man. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 16. These 6 things doth Yahweh hate. Yea, 7 are abomination unto him. But I thought Christians said that God don't hate them. He hates the sinner. He hates the sin, not the sinner. You know what I mean? Like that saying has been said so much by the Christians, you'd think that it's actually in the Bible. It's not in there. That does not exist. Neither does the concept exist. And let me quickly prove that. Oh, he hates the sin and not the sinner. All right, well, what does this say then? What does this mean? Right, where is it? Where is it at, man? Salakia. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 6. For the Most High hateth sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of judgment. Oh, well, it doesn't mean hate. It just means love less at the end of the day. Oh, really? Well, I know what I can read right there. We might not be the best readers. You know what I mean? You Edomites try to stop us from reading. So we might still be a couple of centuries behind in our reading skills, right? But it says the Most High hateth sinners. Now, what are all you in the context people going to say about that? What are you going to say? Trying to always trick and deceive us, man. That's what this world's been about. Trying to trick us and trying to deceive us, man. And where was I just reading before I went into that? I forgot. Forgot what I was just reading before I went to that scripture that I was just in, man. Salakia. My mind's gone blank on that. I think I was in Ephesians now. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 16. Above all, taking the shield of faith, where we shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And that's one of the main things, man. Faith, which is hope, right? Hope, which is faith. And then when based on having that, we understand that the world can be better than what it is now, man. And it wouldn't even be so bad if these people, when all the sins that they did, if they declared it privately towards a fellow Israelite that's also got sins. But these people declare the things that they did wrong openly in the world, like they haven't actually did nothing wrong. They don't want the things that Jake used to be embarrassed about. Are now people don't care about saying none of that, man. People don't care about saying anything these days, man. I remember back in the day, Eve used to like be ashamed to even admit that she would like that she would go down like I don't that she would what way can I say it, man, to not sound vulgar, man? That she would bend the knee, you know what I mean, to a man. She wouldn't even want to admit that she would bend the knee to a man. But now Eve's saying all kind of things as well as Jake are saying it, man. Now everything's up for grabs in this world, man. People don't care. They're declaring their sin like they did in Sodom. They're hiding it not. They ain't hiding it. These alphabeting mans, they're open with it, man. They'll put a weave on. They'll put on a weave. And they've actually, a lot of these alphabet mans have tricked you women into doing your makeup to make your face look hard as hell, man. The way our women do their makeup nowadays, like their face looks hard like stone, mate. It don't look good. The way our women have been taught to do their makeup, it actually doesn't look good. It's allowed men to try and blag like they can look like a woman now, because women the way how women have been taught now to do their makeup, it makes them almost look like a T themselves. A lot of the time when they really put that hard full face of makeup on it, and where it would turn something a white cloth brown. I'm on about that. Now, because they've did that, men can try and make their masculine face look more feminine, because you women have took your feminine faces with makeup and turn your feminine faces to look more masculine. So now the man's able to try and feminize his face a bit more with the makeup, because you women are masculizing your faces more with the makeup. Then it's like you're meeting in the middle, or damn near almost meeting in the middle. I'ma change my face to look. The men are like the T men and the men that are flouncy around here. They're like, I'ma make my face a little bit more women like, and the women are gonna make their face a bit more manly like. And it was a trick. You men got tricked into doing that, man. Now listen to this about when it comes to God's laws, and I'm not trying to say that I'm keeping all of God's laws. Like, I'd be a dirty, stinking liar if I was to say that. I'm not gonna ever say that, man. That's just not true. But the desire to keep them is there. The desire to want to keep all of Yahweh's laws is there, man. And as it should be with all of us Israelites, which is what the new covenant is going to be. But among Christianity, they don't even have the desire to keep all of God's laws. They're saying that the law is done away with. We ain't saying that. We're saying that we're under grace, but we still have to keep the laws to the best of our ability. But that the day is coming when we're going to be able to keep them all. Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 4. They that forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them. So all you people that are declaring your sin as Sodom and hiding it not, you're praising the wicked. You're on Esau's side, because Esau wants you to be doing that. Esau loves it when us Israelites are wicked, and there's a reason for that, right? Let me go to, and this isn't an Edomite saying this, but this is what all of these nations know, and none would know it more than Esau, who he thinks in his mind that we stole his birthright, which it was always ours anyway. It was never your birthright. Judith chapter 5 and verse 17. And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because God that hateth iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that is not theirs. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. But now they are turned to their God, and are come up from the places and come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in a hill country, for it was desolate. And that's proof that those people in the land of Israel, they ain't the real ones, because they ain't being brought back from everywhere they were scattered. Now, some people might say, you ain't even in the land, so how are you saying anything? Well, according to what part we think we're in prophecy, we shouldn't be in the land. But according to the parts of prophecy that they're saying they fulfilled, not only should they be in the land, but there shouldn't be no such thing anymore as lost tribes of Israel, based on what they're saying. And there damn sure shouldn't be no country of America saying we're going to buy Gaza. That definitely shouldn't be happening, based on where they're saying that they are in the prophecy. But then at the same time, they're saying that they're ahead of the fulfillment of the Israelites going back into the land of Israel. But then they don't believe that Yahushua was the Messiah. The same Messiah that Christianity talks about, they don't believe that that's him. They say, oh, we're still waiting for him. But then how can you be behind in prophecy and in front at the same time? Oh, Daniel prophesied about the timeline of when the Messiah is going to come. But nah, that ain't came yet. We don't believe that happened yet. But we've fulfilled Ezekiel 36 though. We're back in the land for the final time and we're never going to be moved out. But we're still waiting for the Messiah though. I think not, mate. You're lying. You're lying again. You know that lying stuff that people like to do on this earth? They're doing it too. Somehow they're behind on the Messiah timeline, but they're ahead and they've fulfilled, and they're thinking that they fulfilled Isaiah 2, Ezekiel 36, you know what I mean? Christianity trying to damn near go on like these mans have fulfilled the book of Revelation already. Like when Trump was president the first time, they was trying to go on like he's going to build the third temple. Did he build it? Did he build it? No, he didn't. It was not built because there ain't going to be no physical third temple, man. If you Christians actually read the Bible, it says in the scriptures there wasn't no temple there. And let me see if I can find that, man. Oh, that's gonna be a hard one to find, I think. It says in the book of Revelation there wasn't no temple there. Maybe it won't be as hard as I thought it will be. Okay, so what do you have about Shemel Shai? Revelation chapter 21 and verse 22. And I saw no temple therein, for the Lord Yahweh Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it. So if you Christians knew that, you would have known that Trump ain't gonna build no third temple. What are you talking about? Right, it's clear right there. I saw no temple therein. Let me say it again. I saw no temple therein. For Yahweh Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it. But let Christians say, oh, everything's been fulfilled already and we ain't got nothing to hope for apart from going to heaven now. That's pretty much what they're saying, man. They don't tell nobody what the MOTB is. Anytime an Israelite reads anything, oh, that's fulfilled. Anytime you read the Old Testament, oh, that's Old Testament, so that's already happened. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, man. And all these people in this world, they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Pretty much, man. Pretty much none of them are embarrassed of anything wicked that they've ever did. Pretty much. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 5. Thou wilt not bow down thyself to the... In fact, let me go verse 4. Thou shalt not make thee any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. I saw it the other day, right? You know that for brothers out there, like there's a certain image of that Cesare Borgia Messiah, right? Where he's got the red heart. And I must have seen a car, right? A parked car. And I was like, oh, they've got that off image in there of that Cesare Borgia Messiah image with the red heart. That he's got like the red heart on the chest. And then as I got closer and had a look at the thing as I'm walking up to the car and to go past the car, I seen that it wasn't even a Cesare Borgia. It was Taylor Swift for the face. So people have took that off already lying image of the fake Messiah, but then they've went even worse than that and made it be Taylor Swift with the red heart. So they're making Taylor Swift their Messiah when she's just a musician and not even the best musician that you're ever gonna hear. There's way better performers than her. She ain't really known, like she ain't really a talent that's known, or maybe she is, man, but she ain't. I don't know, man. In my opinion, she ain't a talent that transcends gender to where men would be like, yeah, I'll listen to some of her music. Rago, I'll listen to some of that. She ain't a really talent that's transitioned every single, you know what I mean, every single nationality, like a Michael Jackson. No. Like a Beyonce, nah. Like a Whitney Houston, nah, she ain't. She ain't particularly the best dancer and none of that. You know what I mean? But that's in my opinion, I guess, though, right? Maybe somebody else might say, nah, she can dance. All right, well, all right. If that's what you think, I don't really think that though. But they might. Um, what else can I? Here we go. Verse 12. Honor thy mother and father, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yahweh have got thy God have given thee, have giveth thee. Excuse me, which Yahweh thy power, thy God giveth thee. And people in this world, they don't really honor their mothers and fathers in this world, not really, right? Thou shalt not kill. That's not done in this world. The drill rappers and all the Esau loves boasting about that too. Like boasting about how in war, or if we went to war, we'd just completely obliterate you. Thou shalt not commit adultery. That's a heavy one in this world, man. That's a heavy one. And it really is considered adultery if you look at a woman that's got a man with a lustful eye. That so how hard is it to not commit adultery? In your mind, even? How hard is it to not do that? Because you don't know when you're walking through the street. If you see a woman and you think that she's attractive, she's got a man, you don't know. Thou shalt not steal. There's a whole bunch of videos online of people stealing, man. People going into Target, people going into Walmart and stealing, and they go to the self checkout and they buy like $900 worth of items, or they steal $900 worth of items, but they pay for $50 worth. You know what I mean? That happens all the time. I've seen more than enough of those videos to know that ever seems to be a regular occurrence in Babylon the Great for damn sure. Verse 12, verse 17, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. People in this world, they get jealous. Just if you cut your grass more than them. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, he's grass. He's green. They might look into your garden. Oh, he's grass. He's greener than mine. Oh, he's got them petunias or whatever damn flowers that exist, man. Oh, he's got lilies in his garden and petunias and roses growing. Oh, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. His shed, his shed's a bit browner than mine. He's got used a bit of better paint. He must have put a better coat on his shed than mine. I'm jealous of that guy. Get geezer. Oh, grr. I'm angry with him. I'm gonna smash his shed up when he's asleep tonight. This is the kind of crazy things that people do in this world. Don't believe me? Watch one of these episodes of Neighbors from Hell, man. Just watch some of it. Watch Neighbors from Hell. Any of these Neighbors from Hell shows. People get mad that their neighbor puts up a privacy gate, a privacy fence, and you're thinking, hang on, you should be happy that they did that. Because why the hell you want to look in their garden anyway? Why are you wanting to look in their garden when they try to be like, oh, you're breaching on my property? This is my property. You've built your fence on my property and you're thinking, hang on. You never said nothing about the fence that was there before in the exact same place. Now that this person's built a fence that's 6 feet tall, now you got a grievance. Now you're trying to drill a hole in their fence to try and look through. Why? Enjoy your own yard, man. Enjoy your own house. But this world, people are nosy, man. You got some, and a lot of people know this, man. We got some nosy neighbors, man. And there's so much ring doorbells around this damn world these days. And some of these people have probably got these things, in my opinion, for sinister reasons, man, to try and spy on people, man. Try and overly encroach into next people's lives in this world, man. I see that when I'm going around this world. Everything's just, you know what I mean? But that's part of coveting. Thou shalt not covet the neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet the neighbor's wife. Don't be trying to, oh man, I don't think he deserves a woman like that. How'd he get a bird like that? He doesn't look like he's too charming in my eyes. He don't look like he's particularly meeting at 6 foot, 6'5", blah blah blah. So how's he got a bird like that, mate? Nah, I'm not happy for that. I wonder how he got her, mate. That's in this world, right? Nor his manservant. Oh, how did he get staff members like that? How's he got all of these people work? Yeah, no, that's none of your business. Nor his maidservant, nor his ox. Or how did he get, like if you own a farm, how did he get his animals to be that big? But mine look small. My cows look mager compared to his. His cows look henched off, but mine are just mager. Like mine are just looking smooth off, man. Worry about your own land. That's what it's supposed to be. Worry about what's going on in your land and your property. But then at the same time, according to the law of the Israelites, if you see your neighbor's lost sheep, you're supposed to return it to them. So you're content with your own and you're not being nosy, but you would also notice if your people are at a loss and help them. Not, oh, he's lost his sheep. I'm going to spray it with a spray can and make it look like one of my sheep now. And I know that he normally put horseshoes on him that he signed a certain way. I'm going to drag the, you know what I mean? Oh, he lost his horse. I'm going to drag the horseshoe off and replace it with one of my horseshoes. And he's never going to know that it was his. And I'm going to be like, deny it to the death of me that that was his horse. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. In this world, oh my days, man. People will covet your wife in this world, man. You know what I mean? If you got children with a woman or whatever, and they might have to take their children to a particular classes that after school clubs or whatever kind of thing, you know what I mean? Or if your woman on a whatever job that they might do or whatever, you know what I mean? They're coveting your wife. They're coveting her. Oh man, what's the right thing I can say to try and get this woman? What's the right technique? Oh, I might secretly give her a Valentine's rose tonight because it's Valentine's Day tonight. So I might try a technique. Like they're just coveting. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is in this world. Women are coveting other women's lives. And the most coveted woman's life right now in this world, earth, I might say, would be probably Kim Kardashian's life, man. A lot of women covet Kim Kardashian's life. And then when you really filter Kim Kardashian's life through the perspective of the scriptures, you're like, man, this woman's actually a loser if you filter her through the Bible. But if you filter her through what this world says is a success, especially what women think is a success, she's a star. She was able to get rich based off only what she looks like and is able to continually keep changing what she looks like. That's what women think is a success. It seems like that in this world, man. And that's why their way and what they think is supposed to happen cannot be made to be the truth of the earth because it's just off. Based on a perpetual grey zone that nothing's really right, nothing's really good, and nothing's really bad in the grey area, in the grey world, in the grey zone. There ain't really no such thing as good. And when you get asked a specific question, you never give a specific answer because it depends. You know, it depends. Women are this, women are that, women need this rights, women need this rights. But then at the same time, I can't speak for all women. I can only speak for myself. But then at the same time, there's a specific thing that women need. Women need this, women need these rights. You shouldn't be able to tell a woman what to do. But what about the other women that don't think like you that you can't speak for? So it's either you can speak for yourself only, or you can't speak for everyone. But if you want to try and, oh, when I want to speak for everyone, then I'm gonna speak for everyone. But then when I get asked a hard question, oh, well, I can't speak for all women but me. Oh, not all women. No, not all. But then it's never not all women when it comes to people trying to enforce righteousness on women. Or women should have to give a paternity test to the father. Oh, but not all women are doing all of this. So I can't speak for all women. This whole society, man, and I didn't even expect this lesson to go this long, but based on that one scripture of they declare their sin as Sodom, they hide it not, which is definitely obviously talking about these alphabet and rainbow mans, but that's not the only sin that the people declare in this world and hide not. They declare many a sins in this world and hide it not, man. People don't care about that no more. People ain't scared of some adultery. Most people in this world would not do what Joseph did. Right? If you're like around a woman, you've been forced to have to be around a woman at a workplace or something like that, and she looks good to you, right? And she just tries to pull it on you. Most men are not running out the house, running out the building, man. Most men are not gonna do that. And people think, oh, I could, like they say whatever they want to say, man. But most men would not take it to them lengths to get away from adultery. They'd be like, oh man, I'm just gonna have to do it and repent. Most men would not do that, man. And that's why it's better to be even pray that you don't even end up in a situation that's got anything to do with adultery in there, because that sin. People might say, "Oh, that's why you should just be strong in the spirit, mate." Yeah, don't you know that Satan can jump on a woman to make her want to try and commit adultery with any person that believes in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai right now, to get them sifted out of the truth? That can happen. Just like a spirit can jump on somebody to make them want to be covetous. Anything. A persuading spirit from Satan can jump on somebody to make them want to do anything. Can make somebody try and jump on it, just think, oh, you're justified in unaliving somebody in this world, when you're not. Just you will not be justified if you do that, because vengeance is Yahweh's. So every single sin, every single thing should be taken seriously in this world, so that we hope that we escape from everything, man. Or hope that if in the times if we didn't escape, that Yahweh has mercy on us. And this ain't me doing no confession of me committing adultery, neither. I haven't did that. But I'm just making points about all the things that if you do some of these things while you say that you're a Hebrew Israelite, right? Those certain things are not going to be forgiven in a certain situations, man. There's certain things that you will not be able to come back from, that people are not allowed to pray for you for. Sins unto death are one of those. If a man commits a sin unto death, don't pray for him. It says it in the scriptures. Whereas if a man stole, okay, you can be like, well, why did he steal? You can pray for them, because that's not a sin unto death. But if a man's unalive someone, committed adultery, right, been alphabeting and rainbowing, well, those are things that you can't. If a man gets caught wearing gal them clothes, like, these are things that you ain't praying for a man for. Nah, I ain't gonna be saying no barakatah for that, brother. Barakatah for, no, I mean, no, there ain't gonna be no salakias, salakium for that. That's not gonna, you know what I mean? That's not gonna be said. And neither would I expect somebody to say that for me, neither. But we all really, if you consider the Lord's Prayer, we all do pray for each other, right? We all actually do pray for each other when we do the Lord's Prayer. But if you watch and you see, when you see a brother on camera and you're like, man, I think that this brother's going through this, why could you, if you say that you believe you're an Israelite and you're hoping to be with the elect, would it be a harm for you to pray for them? Would it be? No, it wouldn't. Would it be a harm if you haven't seen a brother for a long time and you're like, man, I wonder what's up, like, to pray and be like, I wonder if that, you know what I mean? Would that be wrong? No. Especially if you consider that the one day we're going to be throwing tanks. So one day we're going to be throwing tanks, but we can't pray for our fellow Israelites. Like, all right, but I think that we can, though, and you think that we can as well. If you're really believing in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man, and really believe that you are what you hope to be. If what you hope you are, right, all Israelite believers out there, if what you hope you are, right, the hope that you believe you are, if you're right concerning the hope that you have about yourself, right, and those things that you've hoped that you're going to see, the hope that you have, well, then your prayer would be heard if you make a prayer in regard to another Israelite. It would be. And on that right there, yeah. And also, let me say this, and our prayers will also be heard based on us praying for the destruction of Babylon the Great as well. Which, since I saw Apostle Gabar, a video that he made, it might be going back, I want to say at least a year. And he made a video based on something I believe that Apostle Tahar said. And he said, pray against Babylon the Great, man. Pray that Yahweh destroys that place. And since that video, and whatever Apostle Tahar said to him, made him say that, whatever conversation that them two had amongst each other, or all four of the apostles that we have, whatever it was that inspired that, things have seemed, in my opinion, to be going faster in the destruction of Babylon. Babylon's showing himself to be less and less wise every single day. Since that time, things have been happening more and more, So obviously, it seemed as though Israelites around the world took heed to praying against Babylon, right? And on that, I will say this is going to be the end of the video. Shalom to the nation of Israel, and people in this world are declaring their sin of Sodom these days. They're hiding it not, man. Shalom.